Hey everyone, I'm Faye, and today we're going to be talking about permutation of n objects taken r at a time. So, what is permutation? Permutation is an arrangement or listing of objects in which the order is important. Permutation is used when we are counting without replacement and the order matters. In general, this one means that the number of permutations of n objects taken are at a time. N stands for n objects to choose from, while R stands for pick R of those objects. And you can choose either of these two ways to write it, either P with parentheses and objects taken R at a time. We could also use the capital P and put n objects on the left hand side and take R at a time in the right. So the general formula is P of n objects taken R at a time equals n factorial over n minus r factorial, in which where r is less than or equal to n. Let's proceed to the example number 1. A cell phone keypad has 10 different digits. If the cell phone's lock code consists of 6 different digits, how many possible keypad lock codes can there be? So our n, which stands for n objects to choose from, is number 10 because we are choosing from 10 different digits. And our R, which stands for pick R of these objects, is going to be number 6 because 6 different digits are needed to create a cell phone lock code. So basically I'm going to use this formula and going to substitute the 10 to the end, and R is going to be replaced by 6. So that would be 10 factorial over 10 minus 6 factorial. And so 10 factorial stays at the top, and we're going to go ahead and subtract 10 minus 6, which that would become 4 factorial. Before you start applying the factorial and multiplying things out, you can simplify it by hand, which is going to make sense and make things easier. So 10 factorial, it's going to go little by little and stop at 4, since that's where it's at, and we're gonna cross it out, and we're also gonna cross out the 4 factorial at the bottom. So that would be equal to 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5. And we're going to multiply that all, and that will become 151,200. Therefore, there are 151,200 possible 6-digit lock codes that can be found. And that's all. Thank you.
In this video, we will look at a few examples to practice working with permutation. So here is an example. If there are 6 horses posing for the opener at Sunlight Park Racetrack and you want the permutation for the top 3, you would have solved for 6p3. So in this case, 6 is the total number of objects that we are working with, and R, which is the number of objects we are picking. And then arranging is 3, so 6p3 using the formula, it would be 6 factorial over the difference of n and r. So 6 minus 3 factorial, so that gives us 6 factorial over, well, 6 minus 3 is 3, so that is 3 factorial. Now we can write this out in order to simplify a bit. We have 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 and times 1. 4 6 factorial and 3 factorial is 3 times 2 times 1. So we have some of the same things on the top and the bottom of our fraction. We can cancel those out. So those all basically cancel out, and what we are left with is 6 times 5 times 4, which is 120. So that means our answer is 6p3 is 120.
Find the number of the ways to listen for different CDs from the selection of 10 CDs. N objects is total in 10 CDs. In our 4 different CDs is our R. And N objects is 10 factorial, and I'm taking 4 for our R, and we put that into 10 minus 4 factorial equals we do a little bit arithmetic here, and before we start applying factorial, you can simplify this with your hands. We have 10 factorial at the top and 6 factorial at the bottom, and at the bottom, and let's take to 10 factorial. We start work it out. 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6, and because I have a 6 and 6 factorial at the bottom, I don't wanna finish taking that out. At least I wanna leave it 6 factorial at there, and 6 factorial at the bottom. We crush out this, and I calculate this in equals to 5040. That's it.
My name is Iscel, so the fourth example is to find a number of ways to listen to 5 different CDs from a selection of 15 CDs. So this will be 15 CDs, this will be our subject, and this 5, this will be our R. 5 at a time. 15 objects, so 15 factorial. Alright, I am taking the object 5 at a time, so 15 minus 5 factorial at the bottom. Alright, go ahead and do a little bit of arithmetic here. 15 factorial is gonna stay put at the top. I might go ahead and subtract here. 15 minus 5 is gonna give me a 10 factorial. Alright, now before you start applying the factorial and multiplying, you can simplify a little bit by hand, which is gonna make sense and make things a lot easier. Alright, if I got 15 factorial on the top and I've got 10 factorial on the bottom, let's take that 15 factorial and start to work it out as we could have effect. So 15 times 14 times 13 times 12 times 11 times 10. 10, but because I have a 10 factorial on the bottom, I don't want to finish talking. Taking that out, the rest away, I'm gonna leave it 10 factorial right there. Then with my 10 factorial on the bottom right, I can then now, okay, cross this out. So 15 times 14 times 11, 13 times 12 times 11. So I believe in the calculator it will be 360,360.